I always knew Jesus just like I always knew my family since my youngest memories. Walking away from that and choosing to be selfish, not focusing on God and Jesus, I lived my own life for myself. I hated myself for a long time and was homeless, hooked on meth. I would use all kinds of drugs. I'd go from wanting to be arrested and locked up to wanting to die and to not caring about what happened to me. I've been arrested about 13 times, from anything from drunken public possession to petty theft, grand theft, strong arm robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, and attempted murder. I actually stabbed a person 4 times in self-defense and they almost died. And at the time I didn't care if I was locked up for life or if they lived. I believe God spoke to me in a dream where I was the victim and I was in the hospital. And when I woke up, I said to myself, I hope he lives and I hope I get free. And I did, and God's restored me and I've made amends to that person since.
I grew up always knowing who God was. I stepped out of that alignment and I stepped into darkness around 2005, 2006, and man, that darkness is dark. I followed my flesh to the gates of hell and through many, many incarcerations. I once had 18 misdemeanors and 13 felonies. Each time God was trying to get my attention. The most damaging thing I've ever done is aborting my 3-month-old child. And I knew that God had revealed his gender to me. It was a boy, and I know that he is with Jesus now and waiting for me, but that was really, really tough because I knew what I was doing. And I remember going into Planned Parenthood and they're like, forgive her not, she knows not what she does. And I remember those people picketing in the line, and I still chose that for my life. And I was like, there is no way that God will ever forgive me for this.
Eventually finding Jesus, I learned to love myself. And, rock bottom has been defined as being spiritually bankrupt, and I was definitely there.
Me and Pete met about 12 years ago in Celebrate Recovery, which was so beautiful, We met at our very bottoms. I had maybe like a month sober, and I didn't know up from down, didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that I had this resilience in me, and I met Christ there. I was drug addicted, cursing every other word, I was in a dark place, but God's like, yep, I'm gonna use you. Let's do this together. And I surrendered.
Today with God, with the 12 steps, with Jesus as my center, with like-minded people around me and learning to help others, I've come to a place where I truly do sincerely love myself, and it took me years to find that. It's been 13 years now since I've used any drugs or alcohol. We've been very blessed, nonstop. I have a list of answered prayers and blessings. So grateful beyond our belief.
I'm so grateful that 2 broken kids met at Celebrate Recovery have surrendered their all, and we get to sponsor or mentor other men and women. We get to show up and be accountable. We get to help people build their lives from the ground up. Me and Pete met and we had $0 in our bank account. We were taking the bus. We didn't have license. We had POs. Our probation officers used to tell us, you cannot leave this county. Don't even think about it. And today we get to travel the world with our family. We get to have our 2 young daughters, or Madison and Michaela. They are just the joy of our lives, and we get to start fresh, And I want to speak to that a lot of people think, well, my families were all addicts, alcoholics, they're dysfunctional, so therefore that dysfunction runs. No, we decree and declare that is not going to be our end. We will absolutely create new beginnings, new fresh starts, right? New paths for our kids. And
we went from being homeless to being homeowners. We used to be hopeless dope fiends, and today, through Christ, we're dopeless hope fiends. My worst day with Jesus is better than my best day in my addiction.
Yeah, and even in our darkest day, in Jesus, we found hope.